Okay, so where I left you outside was again kind of with these raised garden beds. And if you remember, we had started off with a polynomial representing the volume. That was x cubed minus 6x squared minus 27x. And we had talked about how we were going to have this side of the garden bed be x. And then we talked about, because of the width of the board there, this one would have to be x plus 3 inches. And then if you did your factoring and division correctly, you would have ended up with x minus 9 then for the height of that garden bed. Okay, so those are your factors, right? So we could rewrite our volume polynomial. 6x squared back in there. We could rewrite that as x times x plus 3 times x minus 9. And just to show you that we do have the correct factors, if I go ahead and start multiplying that out, you're going to get x squared plus 3x. Give myself some more room to work with the math here. Keep multiplying that out. That's going to be an x cubed minus 9x squared plus 3x squared minus 27x. And simplifying, you got like terms in the middle there, would give you an x cubed minus 6x squared minus 27x. And as you can see, that does get us back to the volume, or the polynomial for volume that we started with. So that's just proving there that your factors are good. Okay, I'm going to pull the actual factored form back down here, right? So this is what you were working with yesterday on Khan Academy. So you have it in factored form. Now, we know that those both represent the same thing, okay? But the factored form helps us because then we can go ahead and find our zeros, right? So if you were to set each of these equal to 0, you're going to get 0 equals x. That's straightforward. 0 equals x plus 3. 0 equals x minus 9. Scroll this up here again. Okay, now that one would be pretty clear. Here you'd want to subtract the 3 from both sides to get x equals negative 3. Here you would add a 9 to both sides to get x equals 9. Now, those are points, right? You have a point 0, 0. You have a point negative 3, 0. You have a point 9, 0. And if we take a look at our graph, those should all match up pretty well, right? So there's the graph of x cubed minus 6x squared minus 27x. You have right there your 0, 0. Okay. Get that in there as your 0, 0. You have the negative 3, 0 showing up right here. Okay, this is going by 2's on your little tick marks. And then you have 9, 0 right there. So that's what you worked with quite a bit yesterday in Khan Academy. We did this a bunch with quadratics when we were talking about the x-intercepts of parabolas. Now we're just extending it to what would be a cubic function and other polynomial functions as we continue to go forward. Okay, so I'm going to have you working with graphs is going to be your primary thing to do today. So keep that in mind. Okay, we know that when we factor something down, you're going to get x-intercepts, but I also want you to pay attention to other things. Okay, so pay attention to when your highest degree term is a 3, so x cubed, x to the 3rd power. What do you notice about the graph? Compare that with when you have a highest degree term of 4, so x to the 4th power. What do you notice? Compare that to x to the 5th. What do you notice? Also talk about, you already know quite extensively x squared, which is a quadratic, you know, that's a parabola. But I just kind of want you to talk about and compare those three different functions. So quadratic x squared, cubic x to the third, quartic, which would be x to the fourth, and then we also have a couple of x to the fifth. And just tell me what you see when you see those graphs. So most of this is going to be done on a graphing calculator. Obviously, I know a lot of you guys do not have the classroom calculators at home. If you have a graphing calculator you can use, then great. I'm just going to kind of ask you to either take pictures of your screen or just kind of sketch them out, okay? If you do not have a graphing calculator, I talked previously about the Graph and Calc app. That's based on a TI-83. For some of your parents, that might be the easiest one for them to help you with. But on that one, you'd hit the y equals key and then type in your equation and then hit the graph key and that'll show you the graph. There's a Desmos app, DESMOS, and that's both of those apps are free. Desmos app's pretty straightforward. You just type it in. Keep in mind that, and you guys I think are familiar with this from the Inspires, but when you're trying to put in a power, you use that kind of caret sign, right? It didn't come out very well. You use that kind of caret sign, okay, and that's going to give you whatever you need in terms of a power. So like 2 to the third power, you kind of hit that caret app and it's going to give you that exponent, okay? And that'll be the same on Desmos as well on, is if you're on a laptop, you can just go to desmos.com/calculator, and then you'll be able to use your keyboard and just pretty much type in what you need. But on most keyboards, I think you're going to be looking at Shift 6. And that, again, is going to be that kind of caret app to give you whatever exponent you need. Other than that, I think you guys will be able to figure it out pretty easily. Okay, so once you have one of those graphing calculators, I want you to take a look at these, and you're going to graph those. What do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8 of them. So I want you to graph those 8. You can either take pictures of your screen on your phone or on your computer, or you can just sketch them out. Don't worry about being too detailed, but try to get the general idea if you're sketching. And then once you have all your sketches or you have all your pictures of those 8 graphs, talk to me about them. Okay, you have an x cubed, you have an x to the fourth, you have some x to the fifth. You also already know what an x squared graph is going to look like, so talk about that as well. But it's really more of an exploration. So tell me what you see when you have all those graphs. And I think that's it. Have a good week, guys. I will get back with you